Hey guys, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we need to talk about something that's been hitting me hard lately. Out of sheer journalistic duty, I have to show you exactly what changed in the meta and why the player Awaken has started absolutely dominating me in the Doomsday Express event. You guys know me. Usually I'm the one walking away victorious from these highway clashes, but right now I'm losing every single track fight, as you can clearly see in the gameplay running on your screen. Awaken took this rivalry personally, and there were days where he would throw up to 10 testing attacks at just a single track of mine until he finally cracked the code. So what happened? Let's break down the massive stat and gear gap that turned the tables. First of all, the invisible killer, hero final damage. If we look back at our previous video, the stats tell a brutal story. Awaken's hero final damage was already sitting at a dangerous 35.6%. Since then, he managed to push that number even higher, reaching a staggering 38%. Meanwhile, if you look at my report, it's still sitting at a clean 0%. In State of Survival, hero final damage is a massive multiplier. When you are sitting at 0 and your opponent is nearly 40%, the raw damage output gap becomes almost impossible to overcome with standard stats alone. This single factor heavily dictates the flow of the match right from the opening seconds. Issue number 2, the gear shift, Tempest Arms and the Mech gap. But stats aren't the only thing that changed. Awaken made two massive tactical adjustments to his lineup that completely neutralized my strategy. First of all, Tempest Arms Peerless Power. I used to rely heavily on a lethal Landmine 4. The skills equipped on my Rider and Hunter heroes to shred his advancing troops. Awaken countered this perfectly by equipping the Peerless Power Tempest Arm, effectively silencing my landmines and stripping away my main defensive trap. And the second one, Generation 2 Mech, Cyclone. This is the ultimate game changer. Awaken is already deploying Cyclone, the powerful Generation 2 Mech. And where am I at? I am still currently upgrading the tanks required to build it. Because of this delay, I am essentially a sitting duck for my rival for at least the next 2 weeks until my own mech is combat ready. The third issue, the Behemoth MK5 Disparity. The biggest point of failure in my current defensive setup comes down to our primary war behemoths. Awaken's investment into his Behemoth MK5 has created an absolute canyon between our armies. Let's talk about the third skill, Iron Screen. Awaken's Iron Screen is, I think, fully upgraded. His skill shielded over 244,000 of his units during the battle. And my Iron Screen, because mine is underleveled, is only protected a measly 30,000 units. Think about that difference. That is over 210,000 extra troops on his side that survived the initial clashes completely unscarred, allowing them to keep fighting, cycling skills and dealing damage while my frontline was melting away. Furthermore, when we look at the raw skill progression of the Behemoth MK5, Awaken has maxed out 25 skills. I have only maxed out 12 skills. This grants him an overwhelming advantage in percentage-based combat stats directly tied to the Battle Behemoths. And the last case I noticed, the Companion Behemoth Deception. Some of you might look at my account and say, but wait, look at your Companion Behemoths, you have way more skills unlocked there. And you will be right, I do have a more developed Companion Behemoths lineup. However, this match proves a crucial role in the current meta. The direct combat impact on Battle Behemoth skills far overweights the passive and secondary bonuses of Companion Behemoths. Having great companions means nothing if your main Battle Behemoth gets completely outscaled in raw power and shielding capability. So what's the summary here? When you look at the big picture of our overall account progression, my previous victories against Awaken were always won by a very slim margin of healthy surviving units. It was a tight tightrope walk. Now, with the recent changes, or rather the massive upgrades on his account while mine remained stagnant, the margin has completely shifted in his favor, and the gap is now a canyon. So, what's the plan moving forward? Well, the next few weeks are going to be tough. I'm going to be an easy target for a while, but it's time to head back to the drawing board. I have a few weeks of hopefully smart account upgrades ahead of me to close this gap, finish my Generation 2 mech and get my Behemoth MK5 up to par. What do you guys think about his setup? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more breakdowns, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.